And a new contextual world that offers the internet experience while shopping the old-fashioned way is here. Geofencing and proximity beacon technologies that support proximity services to major retailers, restaurant chains, sport complexes, and other brick-and-mortar operations generates invaluable business intelligence. Here to tell us more about this new contextual world is David Helms. He's Chief Product Officer at Radius Networks. And David, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Abe.
Thanks for being here. I know you're local to DC, so you just had to take a short walk here into our studio.
Yeah, it's great to be able just to walk here. Oh, what a privilege. So.
That's great. Proximity service is a really kind of booming industry, very exciting for us, really in the kind of back-end heavy equipment space. It's nice to talk to somebody on the edge here. Tell us how proximity services is going to change the retail space.
You know, pure play retail is really not becoming sustainable. You're seeing, traditional brick and mortar retailers going digital, and even the big names we've seen in online retail are now focused on local services and having a local footprint. And so, beacon technology and geofencing and proximity technologies in general are really key enablers of how do you converge that physical brick and mortar retail space with that digital experience that retailers need their customers to have.
Now, David, your company is located in Georgetown. That's in the Washington, D.C. area for our viewers. If I walk from retail store to retail store in that area, am I going to be getting pinged with ad here and an ad there based on where my proximity in Georgetown is?
Yeah, I mean, when people think about beacons, if you've heard anything in the press about that, or mobile proximity, I mean, the immediate thought is deals and coupons. But it's a little bit of a naive way to look at it. I mean, if you're in the physical space, right, then the retailer doesn't need to give you a deal or get you a coupon to get in the door. So really what proximity technologies and beacons about is driving a new digital experience so that when that user is in the store, you're enabling new experiences like being able to find that product you're interested in quicker in the store, or being able to find a qualified sales assistant who understands the technology area that you're in and can answer your question. So it's really about driving new experiences and bringing some of that intimacy that a customer may feel, and they have a relationship with an online retailer of immediacy and being able to look at a lot of products and be able to make a decision, but bringing that into that brick and mortar experience and driving really that relationship between the retailer and their customer.
Now, typically with any benefit of a new technology, David, as you know, there are concerns as well. When you look up proximity services, there are a number of benefits, but then of course there's that con as well, and that's typically privacy.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, there are a number of technology solutions to location and privacy, and some of them are more privacy friendly and some are less privacy friendly. I mean, the fact that your phone has a GPS signal and you go from cell phone to cell phone, there are legitimate issues that we have to be concerned about and protect that end user's privacy. One of the great things about beacon technology is it's extremely privacy friendly. And a beacon does not collect information, and that's a big misunderstanding in a lot of cases. People hear about the technology, they assume that you're listening to my phone as you walk by. But in fact, beacons are transmit-only devices. An analogy I like to use is think about them as lighthouses. So they are flashing some information, just like a lighthouse flashes a light, right? And as the ships go by, they see that light from the lighthouse, and they do something with that information. They react to it, right? But the lighthouse doesn't know anything about the ships. Right? And the same thing holds true for beacons. Beacons are flashing information. They are sending a radio signal out periodically, but they are never receiving information from the mobile devices. It's really in the mobile device, it's the mobile device's job to actually receive that information and do something with it. It's also the mobile user's point of control. They have the device. They have the ability to opt in or opt out and control whether they are going to actually participate in that experience or not. So the great thing about beacons is they are, architecturally designed to be privacy friendly and to protect users' information.
David, tell me more about the mechanics of beacon technologies. Do you have to place the physical hardware in various areas, and what kind of bandwidth is required to connect these beacons?
Yeah, I mean, so a mobile proximity app, an app on the phone that is looking to interact with these beacons, is really interested in reacting or driving experience when that mobile device and that user is near some place or thing, right? And you could think of beacons as the tags that sit on those mobile places, or things, right? Typically, a Bluetooth low energy beacon has a range of about 40 to 50 meters. So we're in a fairly localized range for that user. What they do is they essentially, as I mentioned, sort of flash or repeatedly transmit essentially an identifier and some information about their signal strength. And when a mobile user with a mobile device that has an app that's listening for one of those beacons gets that signal, then it can determine which beacon am I near, and therefore which place or thing am I near, right? And then based on some of that power information, also can calculate how far from that beacon am I. So I can get a sense whether I am, right in front of the point of sale terminal, or maybe I'm 40 meters away from the point of sale terminal. It's all about understanding, what place am I near, how close to it am I, and then using that contextual information to drive an appropriate and valuable experience to that mobile user.
David, as you know, you are a session speaker at TIA's annual membership conference in Dallas, Texas. Again, as you know, that's on June 2nd through 4th. Mm-hmm. It's on smart retail. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you'll be covering in that session?
Well, we're going to be going through a number of use cases. I mean, we've been deploying beacon technology for almost 2 years now. It's relatively new, but we have, as some of our customers, some of the largest rollouts of those technologies. So there are a lot of lessons learned, a lot of valuable use cases where people have applied these beacons. We're just going to share some of those experiences and hopefully, ignite some interest in the audience, and then of course be available to answer any questions and help people guide in how they might use this technology.
David, I want to ask you, and I ask all of of course, this is a series that we're doing to promote our conference, the Network of the Future, and I'd like to ask everyone the same question. Outside of the smart retail space, what do you expect to learn at a conference like this? And we were talking before the show about convergence in the ecosystem. It's becoming smaller and smaller. Right. What do you expect to learn? Well,
a couple things I'm excited about at this conference is, TIA is continuing to kind of reinvent itself with more of a focus on emerging technology. So there's a startup pitch session that I'm really interested in attending and seeing what other new technologies might be emerging. And then there's a emerging mobile technologies track that you're going to see me just locked into to see, what are some of the new solutions enabled by LTE and other capabilities like that. So those are the things I'm excited about why I'm going to the conference.
David, we're looking forward to seeing you down there. I'll be down there as well with our studio here, so maybe we can get you in front of the camera again.
I would love that. Thanks a lot.
All right, David. Appreciate your time.
Right, thanks.
And for more information about TIA 2015 Network of the Future Conference on June 2nd through 4th in Dallas, and also how to register, go to TIA2015.org. So long.